Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Another Fat Guy Cooks. I'm your fat guy, Andy Baker, and today we are going to be making hoosh. What's hoosh? Stick around and find out. Let's go. Okay, so a while ago, 100 years or so, there was a guy called Ernest Shackleton. Fancy ass bitch, explorer, adventurer, English gentleman, posh cunt, lovely chap, I'm sure. He went off to the Antarctic to try and find the South Pole or something, and he got stuck because he didn't realise that ice was the thing, apparently. So his boat got stuck, and his boat was called the Endurance, which has just recently been in the news because they just found it at the bottom of the sea. So I'm being topical. This is a topical episode. What we're going to make is something called hoosh, which is basically like a weird soupy stew thing that Antarctic explorers would eat to stay alive when they didn't have anything else to eat. Now, hoosh is made of 3 constituent parts. It is made of hardtack or sledding biscuits, which are basically just like crazy dry crap biscuits that last forever and don't go off. It's made of pemmican, which is like a meat, fat, berry, dried mush energy bar thing that never goes off, and snow. And they kind of mix that all together in a big pot and then they eat it. That's hoosh. So we're going to have a go at trying to make hoosh from scratch, which is going to be fun. So the first thing we're going to tackle is the hardtack, the biscuits. Yeah, the cookies, the little biscuity things. So what we're going to need is my scale, which I don't have. I was debating whether to do my fancy English gentleman voice for this episode, because my name is Sir Ernest Shackleton, and I have never been caught molesting a seal once, although I have been accused of it several times, but never caught. Anyway, back to murdering sled dogs, because that was my favourite thing in the world. Oh my lord, you find yourself a good sled dog and you get your little service pistol and you blow it away right between the eyes. Nothing better than murdering dogs and then eating them or feeding them to each other, whichever takes your fancy. We were not that precious with our dogs back in the 1900s. That was my Ernest Shackleton voice. If it was any good, when I watch it back, I'll keep it in. If it wasn't, then you'll just see this bit and none of the voice. Bowl. On scale. 0. Okay. Ah, the sounds of England. 150 grams of all-purpose flour. A nice big pinch of salt. And a teaspoon of baking powder. Whisk to combine. As always, make sure your tits jiggle to their fullest while whisking. 30 milligrams of butter. Throw that all in there. And then we're going to knead with our hands and we're going to incorporate the butter into the flour until it's all like very sandy and all completely incorporated. So we're going to do that now. And you just do that in a little pinching motion. If we were back in the 1900s, you could practice that pinching motion on a secretary's bottom. Not so much these days. Now you have to pinch your own bottom or get written consent from the secretary. You probably shouldn't be pinching secretaries. And we do this until all the biggest clumps of butter are broken up and it's all nice and small and pebbly and sandy. And then we want a couple of tablespoons of cold water. And we're just going to add that slowly and move this around until it comes together into a clump that just about stays together but isn't sticky. Just do it a little bit at a time because it's a pain in the arse to add more flour. So just go really slow. See, it's starting to get there, but it's still a little bit crumbly. So we add a little bit more water. So we have come together into a nice ball of dough that is not sticky, just dry enough. It's going to need a little bit of flour and a rolling pin. Quite enjoying the posh English voice actually. The problem with posh English voice is that it also, you know, means a lot of other things like colonialism, which isn't as fun as Antarctic exploration. Okay, so you want it about 1/4 of an inch thick, something like that. Nicely. And get a knife, trim your edges, and then you want to just cut yourself, I don't know, like one, two, three, four, and then down the middle. There we go. So we're just making little rectangular biscuits like so, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to poke some holes. So like go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each one, like so. Baking tray with a little bit of parchment. Okay, and these are going to go in an oven 190 degrees for about 15-20 minutes till they start getting golden brown, and you want to pull them out. Perfect. Right, I'm going to go and put these in the oven. We'll be right back. Okay, right, so now we're going to make our pemmican. Now to do that, first what we have to do is chop up a load of, I'm going to use brisket for this. So a nice big piece of brisket from our friends at Owen Taylor Butchers. Okay. Now, I'm not going to do this here because I've already done it and I don't want to waste meat, right? So all you need to do is chop up a load of little chunks of this, yeah? If you've got a dehydrator like I do, or a Ninja Foodie that does dehydration, even better, you want to chop up a load of meat. You probably want something in the region of, I don't know, what's this? Like about 800 grams, something like that. Use a decent amount of meat. You want a decent chunk of meat, dehydrated, so you can grind it up and make a powder. Okay, so I'm not going to do that with this because I've already done it. But just, you know, imagine me cutting this up into little chunks and then putting it in the dehydrator and then turning the dehydrator on for 12 hours while it dehydrates into like just dried meat. That's what I'm about to do, if you like. Okay, so now I've shown you the meat. I'm going to put the meat away again. Okay, so we've dehydrated our meat. And it's going to look something like that. So this is about as dehydrated as meat gets, because I've absolutely dehydrated the living shit out of it. And it's all nice and crunchy and hard. So we're going to throw that all into our blender. And we've not tried this before, so we're going to hope it turns into a powder. Right. Now, what we need to get ready next is our tallow. Now, if you don't know what tallow is, it's beef fat. It's this. It's basically just fat off of a cow. I have quite a lot of it. I'm probably not going to need this much of it. Now, we could do this the easy way. We could just use like vegetable oil or something like that, but this is the way that they did it when they made this stuff. So yeah, pemmican is basically dried meat, some berries, some like dried blueberries or dried some kind of berry, and melted fat into an energy bar. Okay, so we're going to render out some of this fat. So we're going to chop this all up into little bits to make it easier to render out. Cut anything off that doesn't look like it's proper fat. And we're going to throw this in our pan. We're going to try and avoid burning it if at all possible. Not sure how much we're going to need, so I'm just going to do plenty. I mean, they wouldn't have been precious about it, so I don't think we need to be precious about it either. And it's going to pop and it's going to spit and it's going to complain and it's going to make a right fucking racket. So we'll see how that goes. Right, I've got here, instead of buying like fresh blueberries and drying them out, I've actually got some freeze-dried strawberries. So we'll just use that instead. So we're going to throw about half as much as the meat, maybe more, I don't know, whatever you fancy really. I don't think it really matters. So, this was just to make it taste a bit less shit, basically. And to give you a bit of like, you know, fruit nutrients as well as meat. So, let's dump out our pemmican powder into here. Smells absolutely fucking disgusting. Ugh. So we'll rummage through if we've got any chunks. We need to get rid of those. Strawberry flavoured beef jerky powder. Look at that. Lovely. All nice and dry. And then what we need to do is add to it this oil. I don't want to add too much in one go. I just want to add enough to see how it starts coming together. Same as the dough really. You just want to like add a little bit at a time. That's a terrible thing to use. There we go. That's better. Okay, it's just starting to come together now. As you can see, it's starting to sort of pack in. Right, we need something to put it in. What should we put it in? There we go. A couple of these little tins. Little takeaway tins. So let's bang a little bit in here. One. Squish this down. How are we going to squish it down? Push it down with the hand, I guess. And these are basically energy bars. So you would just chew on these on a daily basis. But if you fancied something a bit more like actual food-like, that's when you would combine them with the sledging biscuits, which will be done soon, and the that's when you combine them with the sledging biscuits and some snow in a big pot and heat it up, and that's how you make your hoosh, which is meant to be better. We'll see. Okay, now these are both compacted down. These are going to go in the fridge until they're nice and set, and then we will come back with our biscuits and make our hoosh. I'll be right back. And we're back with sled biscuits, hardtack. Right, so what we need is about 100 millilitres of snow. I think that's about 100 millilitres of snow. I'm going for liquid snow, the kind of snow you get out your tap. There's literally nothing to have sex with in the Antarctic. You could fuck a penguin, but the mouths of like, have you seen the inside of a penguin's mouth? How it's all like fur teeth, and it looks fucking awful. So you can't fuck a penguin, because of the mouth. You can't fuck a seal, really. I mean, unless you're into like big girls, I guess, because they're quite blubbery. I mean, I suppose you could fuck a seal or a walrus. Walrus would probably be okay. I think I might have fucked a walrus. So let's bring our snow up to temperature and check our pemmican out. So, alright, calm down. So So this is our pemmican, and you would just break a piece of this off, like so, and then you just eat it. Just eat it. It's fucking horrible. I don't know if the strawberries make it better or worse. So what you want is you want about 100 ml of water, you want about 100 ml of pemmican, and then you want like 70, 80 of fucking sled biscuits. So let's see what this is. What are you? Yeah, you're about 100. So we're going to throw our pemmican in our water. And we're going to let that... Oh look, I've got extra as well in case anybody wants any. Oh my god, it's so fucking bad. Hard pass on the pemmican. See, this is why I don't think I'd have been a very good Antarctic explorer. Because of my refined palate. Okay, so we're dissolving our pemmican in the water, in the snow, sorry, in the snow. In the Antarctic snow. We'll wait until that's fully dissolved, and then we're going to crumble in all our biscuits, and we're going to mish that up too. Get it all nice and warm, and then put it in a bowl and eat it. And I can't imagine that it's not just going to be lovely. I'm sure it's just going to be delicious. Okay, and then we're just going to get our biscuits, and we're just going to in. Should we try one of the biscuits on its own just to see what it's like? Let's see. That. It tastes like nothing. It tastes like absolutely nothing. A little bit salty and dry. Come on, biscuits, get in. That's Hoosh. And this is what people survived on for literally years at a time. So let's put it in our bowl. There we go. Doesn't look revolting at all, as you can see. Hang on, shall I bring it over? And we'll have a nice close-up of me eating it. This is Hoosh. Mmm. Something's happened. Well, fuck. I mean, it looks awful. But the biscuits really take the fucking edge off it. It doesn't taste good, don't get me wrong. But, you know, I don't know what to tell you, man. It does not taste bad. It just tastes like mush. It's like a bit meaty, a bit fatty. You can sort of taste the strawberry-ish, kind of, but not really. Salty. God, I think I like it. Please like, comment and subscribe on the video if you want to see more content like this, or different content to this, or nice stuff. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Another fat guy cooks.